Hey, hi, howdy, hello. Hope you're all doing all right tonight. I think I'm trying to find this animated series. Come here, come on, Gandalf. Yeah, come on. I can't get you if you're not gonna come here. Now, yeah. I think tonight I'm just gonna do like animated, uh, scary stories. I hope you all are doing well tonight. Sorry I haven't been live much. It's been wild. That's
This is based on a true story. Have you ever tried to find out if there's a ghost or spirit in a place? If you have, I'm sure you must have tried the candle in front of the mirror technique or
111.
the good old Ouija board. And most of the time, these rituals don't work or are nothing more than a joke amongst friends who try them. However, back when I was in college, I shared a room with two other roommates, Rohan and Xander. Rohan was a student from India, and Xander was a British guy. I'm from a small town in North Carolina. We bonded over our love for movies and TV shows, especially for anything horror. Rohan and I loved horror stuff, but
there's the first problem. Ouija board. Like I feel like there's enough Ouija board horror stories out there. Like why? That is the question. I feel like if you don't know by now, that's a bad idea. Like I can't help you because those things are trouble, dude. Like I've never heard a good story come from Ouija boards. But yeah, anyway, like we've been doing like Karen videos, shoplifting at Walmart here lately, but I'm kind of bored with that right now. So I figured we'd switch it up tonight. We'll probably, I don't know what we'll do tomorrow if I come live. It's gonna be a busy week. So, um, probably do a Karen video tomorrow. Those are pretty fun. I just wanted to do something different today. Got bored with the Karens.
not as much as Xander did. He was so invested in it. He used to watch haunted videos on YouTube, and he had read almost every Stephen King novel. In our first year, we tried the Ouija board, and nothing happened. But in our second year, Xander suggested we do a new haunted ritual to see if there's any spirit in our dorm room or in our dorm altogether. Considering nothing had happened when we played with the Ouija board, we decided to go for it and do the ritual with Xander. He had found the ritual on some forbidden website on the internet. The ritual required 4 people, so we decided to ask Ollie, a girl who lived in the room opposite to us, to join us. Once the spirit or ghost is spotted, the people stop moving and then they can ask questions to the spirit. This ritual's quite simple, it seems. I said, yes, it is, and has a great success rate. The people who did it posted their experiences on the website, and I must warn you, they were pretty terrifying. Also, once we are done, we need to say goodbye to the spirit and cross our hearts with our fingers. This signals that we have severed the connection with the spirit. Okay, let's do it.
Hey, you. I hope you are well. I haven't seen you in a little bit. I know this isn't our normal thing. Like, I've changed my content over the last probably 6 months because basically you can only get so much entertainment out of the bottom feeders of the internet. And it's just mindless garble, so I got tired of covering mindless garbage. So now I just do what I want to do and watch paranormal stuff or Karens caught shoplifting at Walmart. You know, there's a YouTube creator who got busted for shoplifting at Walmart. They tell their audience they only got busted once, but that's not exactly true. They also tell their audience it was just chicken, also not true. I'm doing fine. It is crazy. Yeah. Especially when she lies to her audience pretty consistently, even to the point of lying about her relationship with a convict. I found that very interesting. Like, of all the things you'd have to lie about, why do you have to pretend that you're in a whole ass relationship with this dude who barely even acknowledges you exist? And, like, that's even questionable because you basically have to back them into a corner to admit that they are with you. Kind of weird. It is crazy. There's another channel doing a deep dive on that here shortly. Should be interesting, actually. I cannot wait. It's going to be a very interesting stream. Well, it wasn't that she was sad. She got pushed too far, and they just would not quit. So I advised her to take a social media break. Um, after her release. Um, so she's not really looking at YouTube right now because people are horrible and they don't understand boundaries or basic shit, basically. Like, you don't do certain things and you don't behave a certain way. You don't push people that far. with them telling you that you're pushing them too far and just keep going for your amusement. That whole side of the internet has just gotten so disgusting that it's intolerable. Like, ugh. It's turned into a cesspool of trashy ass, morally bankrupt pieces of shit, and I just don't want anything to do with it. But then again, I guess it was always pretty trashy considering the people that they make money off of covering. Like, I don't know what I expected out of people like that.
I just hope this one isn't a flop show like the Ouija board, Rohan mocked. He was the one amongst us who believed in ghosts and spirits the least, although he saw all the movies for pure entertainment and thrill. The moment we entered the dorm room, we realized that it was too dusty. No one had lived in this room for years. It was dark and had an odd vibe to it, unlike other dorm rooms. So, I think you three can take up each corner and face the wall. I will stand in the middle and give you guys the cue to change corners, Xander said. We all agreed, and Ollie took the corner nearest to the door. The other corner next to the door was taken by Rohan, and I chose the one to the right of Rohan. This means Ollie was standing to the left of the door, Rohan to its right, and me beside Rohan. The corner between me and Ollie was empty. Xander closed the door and locked it, covering the room in darkness. It was so quiet in here that we could hear each other's breath. Xander took the center spot and said, "Okay, guys. Now, please stop looking at each other and focus on just the wall in front of you. When I say go, you move from your corner to the corner to your right. Got it?" "Yep," all three of us said in unison. "Okay, go." Luckily, she agreed, and so we decided to perform the ritual on a weekend. Usually, the majority of the students in the dorm would be either at a party or studying on a Saturday night, so it was perfect to do the ritual then. Although we had agreed to do the ritual, Ollie, Rohan, and I had no idea what we were supposed to do in this ritual. Xander had kept that information to himself, and when Ollie asked him what the process was, he said he would tell us on the day of the ritual. To be honest, I thought it wouldn't be anything more than a joke. I mean, does this ritual ever work? And why would there be a spirit in a dorm room, right? So the four of us got together in our dorm room on a Saturday night that week. We'd expected Xander to bring some kind of ingredients like sage, salt, perhaps animal blood, or
Speaking of ghosts, me and a friend of mine, IRL, saw an actual shadow figure today. It creeped me the fuck out. Like, I don't care if I never see that shit again. It was so out of the blue, too, in the most unexpected of places. Ugh, got chills remembering that shit. It was like, just walked across the hallway, like, casual as fuck. Just, and we looked at each other and we looked down the hallway and we were like, what the hell was that? Yeah, we didn't stay. Nope.
least of all candles. But he had nothing with him. "Are we doing this haunted ritual or not?" Rohan asked. "Yeah, we are." "So where are the ingredients?" Ollie asked. "For this one, we won't need any extra stuff. A dark room and 4 people are enough." "Okay, but are you going to tell us what the ritual is?" "Yeah, I will. You all take a seat." We all sat down on the beds in our dorm room. "So, to do this ritual, We need to go to the spare dorm room at the end of the hall. It's almost always empty. All we have to do is 3 of us have to stand in each corner of the room facing the wall and leave one corner empty. One of us will stand in the center of the room. The people in the corner have to move from one corner to the adjacent, clockwise, on the call of the person standing in the middle. The room has to be pitch black for the ritual. And as we continue to do this, if there's a spirit in the room, that spirit will occupy the empty corner. The person standing in the center will be the only one seeing the spirit as the others are looking at their respective corner. The moment he said that, I started moving, and facing the wall itself, I managed to get to the other corner. I could hear that Ollie and Rohan, too, had moved. Now Ollie was standing in my position and Rohan in hers. "Go again," Xander said. With that cue, we changed the corners again. This continued for a good 15 minutes. Even though I couldn't see anyone, I knew Ollie and Rohan were as agitated as I was. This was sillier than a damn Ouija board. We already knew no spirit was there, and the fourth corner would always remain empty. But before Xander could ask us to...
Speaking of rituals, it was night before last. I was watching a movie based on a real paranormal game, as it were, and it's called 100 Candles. And what you do is you sit in a circle and you take 100 candles. It has to be 100. And you have to have a room off to itself. And in that room, you have to place a mirror. And it has to be like pitch dark. So you take your candle, you tell your story, then you take your candle in that room, look into the mirror, and you blow it out. And you have to stay there for like 100 seconds, I think it is. Alone. You cannot have anybody with you. The door cannot be open. You have to be completely alone with you and your candle. And then you're supposed to see something in the reflection. And by the time you get to the 100th candle, the doorway should be open or whatever. And each person playing the game has to tell a scary story, a ghost story. And then after you've told your story, that's when you take your candle and you go into the room and do all the thing. And you have to continue to go around the group until all 100 candles are blown out. And the person with the final candle is supposed to like see the other side or something. Like the veil should be lifted. The only downside to that is if you quit the game, you'll be haunted forever. And I cannot remember what happens at the end of the game if the ghosts leave or whatever. But look it up. It's pretty cool. It's an interesting movie. I watched it on Amazon. It's called 100 Candles, and it's based on a real paranormal ritual. It's pretty intense. I would never play it. No, thank you.
to move for what felt like the 100th time. He asked it. Xander said, I see someone. Between Ollie and Tyson. You better be God was silence. And that's when I dared to look at the corner to my right and saw the most terrifying sight of my life. A girl was wearing a pale yellow nightgown, standing there. She had long hair covering her face, and just like us, she was face forth on her heels. Xander's sight was fixed on her too, and slowly, Ollie and Ro
Hey, April. I don't know why my chat wasn't uploading. That's weird. Oh no, I was doing new stuff before she left. Um, she didn't really leave. She's taking a break for her own well-being. Um, I don't think it's a good idea. Um, for her to come back to YouTube until all of this is resolved behind the scenes. There are some things going on behind the scenes. And I really can't say more than that. But once all of that gets resolved, I think she may come back to YouTube. But for now, for her mental health and I've advised against it. And yes, I have talked to her. I don't know what you think is funny. You do realize by doing the little emojis you're giving me interaction, right? Or are you just that stupid? She likes the paranormal stuff. Um, she's still healing. She's still, focusing on getting better and staying away from the toxicity of horrible people. But I will let her know that you all asked about her. I'm sure that will um, touch her heart. You know, I don't know. Right now, um, not so much. She needs some time. That last stunt they pulled really, yeah, it was fucked up. What was done to Tammy was fucked up, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. And someone nearly Minecrafting themselves. I don't know anything about that that would be even remotely humorous about something like that is just absolutely disgusting, and it was disgusting people like that. She will be, but it's going to be inexcusable. And even after they did what they did, they try to gaslight everybody into not blaming them for their own actions. But what they did to her was unacceptable. And deep down, they know that. And are trying to play it off like a joke. It's not a joke. And it's not funny. There's nothing about what was done that was funny. Not even slightly humorous. Oh, wow. You watched somebody get baptized in Colorado Springs? That had to be cold as shit. Because Colorado is not warm yet. um, it's still very much cold. Oof. Water's so cold it could fucking take your soul. Like, get into Colorado Springs to get baptized and, like, your soul leave your whole ass body. Getting baptized, your soul leaves your body saying, fuck this shit, I'm out. No, thank you. Man. But yeah, Colorado is beautiful. It really is. But it's colder than, I feel like it's colder than Maine. Hey, Kiwi.
And most of her face was still covered by her hair. But when we saw her face, half of her...
Harry, I swear to God, the last time you said that, we had a goddamn blizzard. You keep on about the snow, and I'm going to put you in timeout. Because the last time you said that, it fucking came another snowstorm. Thanks to you.
Her mouth was missing, and we could see the rotten teeth and muscles there.
No, no, no. The snow is beautiful, but only in short spurts, like little bitty times. Like, I don't want big snow all the time. Like, a couple months a year, fine, but like not 12 months out of the year. Thank you. And Harry is going to keep on talking about how it's never going to snow again, and we're going to get snow till fucking July.
We freaked out, and before we could understand, we were all running out the door towards our dorm room. We locked ourselves in and just caught our breath. After that, no one said a word about what we had seen. Ollie stayed with us that night as she was too scared. The next day, we spoke about all the way in that, but glad they could not before the girl could hurt us. A few days passed, and Xander was alone in the dorm room when he.
Right? I'm not gonna go into that, CC. But yes, it is sad.
That's when he realized that we didn't end the ritual properly, because none of us had crossed our hearts at the end of the ritual, as he said. When he posted his experience, an old gentleman who had posted about this ritual told him that to make the entity go away, we had to perform the ritual again in the same place, at the same time, with the same people involved, and end it this time. But we were too afraid to do the ritual again. And for years now, all four of us see the girl sometimes, standing in odd corners. She had never heard any of us, but that doesn't mean it doesn't terrify us. So, if you're planning to do any haunted ritual, make sure to end it properly, or the entities may follow you around for the rest of your life.
Hey, my name is Alex, and I was an urban explorer of the paranormal. You know, those people who go on YouTube with a group of friends getting into the most dangerous places where unexplained things happen. Everyone asks me if I ever saw anything paranormal, or if all my videos were fake. My answer disappoints many. We made all the paranormal activities. What I don't tell them is that one of them was true, and it was the scariest night of my life. I'll put you in context. I won't tell you where because I don't want you to try to do it. But let's just say that if you look for haunted trains in the United States, you might find it. Although during the day it operates normally, it is said that at night, this public transportation has a dark story to tell. Several years ago, the 27-minute train had a brake failure, so it crashed at the last station, killing almost all of the passengers in the front cars of the train. Several years after the tragedy, many people said that if you go to the last station before the terminal at that time, you will see the ghosts of the people who died that day. When I went to do this urban exploration, no one could join me. I had no
Why
problem.
does that animation look so weird? We all do love Tammy. And I hope one day people can be less disgusting and she will feel safe to come back and not be bullied off the deep end um, by a bunch of grown ass adults acting like children. No, not even acting like children. That's too good a word for them. Children act better. Um, just a bunch of trashy, morally bankrupt pieces of shit. Like the bottom of the barrel kind of people. Um, I don't think there is a word bad enough to describe them. But yeah. But then again, that would be like wishing that unicorns were real to wish that they would develop some kind of moral compass. That's never going to happen. So, anywho, there's something really wrong with this animation. Like I don't know what it is. but like something is not setting well aesthetically. Like I think there's something off with the size of the shoulders compared to the head and arms and like little chicken legs. Like I think their programming malfunctioned or something because it just looks wonky.
It was just a train. I didn't expect anything out of the ordinary to happen.
Homie over here looking like he's got like a triple F in boob size.
I got on the train at the appointed time. The same day of the year, tragedy struck. As the legend said, I went to the front seats. I was lucky that those cars were empty, although I wasn't surprised either, since there weren't too many people traveling at that time of the night. I sat down and waited for the time to pass. I could see that nothing was going to happen, and honestly, I wasn't surprised. I had been at this for a long time. Nothing ever really happened. I sat back and relaxed, enjoying the ride and figuring out how to make up scares to upload to YouTube, when all of a sudden, something happened. This whole part is a bit confusing, as it happened too fast, and I was a bit distracted. But I remember that when we entered a tunnel, the train was filled with darkness. The darkness was only interrupted by flashing lights coming from some lanterns. In those flashes of light, I saw much more than I wanted to have seen. The carriage, empty, was full of people. People in clothes that looked like they were from another era, reading newspapers or with their families. I saw some articles from the date of the incident, and these people were the same. Terrified, I jumped from my seat. Everything was empty again. I stood there confused, wondering if this was real. Suddenly, the lights in the car broke, and at that moment, I confirmed my doubts. In the middle of the darkness, I could see how, but they were looking at me. Who are you? Who are you guys? This is impossible. Ah! What's wrong? Why are they screaming? You have to help us. Please, don't let it happen again. It's the first time someone's come. Please, don't let it happen.
It's coming. I'm still looking for a couple of different lights. But it's coming along. I should have it ready pretty soon. I hope. That Five Below is pretty cool. But they didn't have some of the LED lights I like. And there's still a couple of things I'm lacking. You know, one day at a time.
Ah! While all the passengers were screaming in panic, I could see how their faces were melting rapidly, and I could see some of their limbs falling off. As their faces melted, they all walked towards me faster and faster, reaching out to grab me. While I slumped in my seat, screaming in fear and praying for this sudden nightmare to end. As it all happened, I felt the train going faster and faster.
No, that's not what I said, Harry. I don't want another fucking blizzard. You shush. Oh, my facial expressions are gonna like crack y'all the hell up. Especially when I give like people side eye and shit. gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sorry, but if I'm on a train and people start melting, um, I'm getting the hell off of the train. That's what I'm doing. Um, ew.
Derailing out of control. The screams of desperation from the people became more and more noticeable. These people were not trying to attack me. They were asking for help. It was as if
Are these ghosts or zombies? Because they don't look like they're asking you for help. They look like they're about to start eating your brains. But they're zombies, not great. What the hell? Like, whoever did this animation, I swear to God. Like, these are zombies, not ghosts. And they don't look like they are at all asking for help. They look like maybe they think his brains look magically delicious.
they, the train was going faster than before. It was about to crash. I peed myself. At that moment, the noises stopped, and I heard the automatic voice of the train saying that we arrived at the terminus. I opened my eyes. The car was empty.
So basically, you peed on yourself and woke up on a train. It sounds like you might have had a little bit too much of something and like passed the fuck out. Look who it is. Hey, Tammy. There she is. Harry, Kiwi, April, mods in general. If anyone comes in here and so much as looks at her sideways, yeet them immediately. And I do mean immediately. Hey, love. Miss your face. Oh no, you're good. If anybody so much as comes in here and looks at you sideways, they're gone. There will be no tolerance in this room for that. Everybody misses you, Tammy. And this will always be your safe space. I will yeet the shit out of somebody. But yeah, this looks like zombies, and I think the dude might have had like a drug induced something because he didn't see ghosts; those were zombies, and he peed on himself. I don't know why you would like openly admit that. Just like, yeah, I peed on myself. That tells you it's real. No, that tells me you were unconscious and peed all over yourself and woke up and need a good excuse for why you just peed on yourself. Weirdo.
When I checked my camera footage, it didn't pick up any ghosts or anything unusual apart from the temporary power outage. Despite that, my reaction looked very genuine, and I'm sure many people would believe me. I was about to upload the video, but while editing it, I decided not to. I always upload my videos to entertain people, but by doing this, I was creating a monster. Many people would surely not believe me, but others would, and they would go looking for ghosts on that train. This would cause many of them not to come back, and I'll be honest, I don't want to have that blood on my hands. From that day on, I kept doing urban exploration.
I'm calling bullshit on that story. I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't buy it. I think it's bullshit. I think this dude got called out for posting a bunch of fake paranormal stuff. And the one legitimate experience he had, he didn't post because he didn't want people to disappear. I'm sorry, but bullshit. Bullshit. I don't buy it at all. Like, not even almost. That whole story sounded concocted. Yeah. No.
Explorations, but I never did them alone again. If I see something again, I prefer to be with my friends.
Yeah, there's a content creator on this platform that calls out scammers who they themselves have been in trouble, legal trouble, for stealing, shoplifting from Walmart and lying to their audience about it. Yeah. Sure is.
Friends, so I'm sure I'm not crazy. Needless to say, I never traveled by train again. I tried to get on a completely different train, but even though I knew it was a figment of my imagination, I still felt...
No. He just said, I never got on a train again. It scared me so much, I never got on a train again. Then he goes right behind that statement and says, yeah, I looked across many other trains and never saw anything else. Well, you just said you never got on another train, so how could you have investigated all the other trains if you never got back on a train again? See why I don't believe him? Like, I don't believe it because he keeps contradicting himself. I'm dead ass serious, CC. I am dead ass. Not even kidding. It's public record. Yeah. Anybody can pull up her arrest record. Anybody.
Screams of all the people calling for help. All those people who were doomed to relive their death for eternity. Some were still asking me for help. Others were angry that I did nothing to help them. Whether or not it was something I imagined.
Yeah, she told her whole ass audience that she got in trouble for shoplifting over some chicken. But the police report says a shopping cart full of stuff. a pack of chicken ain't no $140. That's a pretty expensive piece of chicken, you know. No. And it wasn't just the one time. She got caught twice from Walmart for shoplifting. Not once.
That time, I decided to get off the train and take a bus.
Right?
I'll be honest, I never believed in the paranormal. I always believed that paranormal videos were made by people pulling strings behind the camera, Photoshop, or video editing. I always said I would believe in the paranormal if I saw something that convinced me. I never thought I would regret anything so much in my life.
No, the first shoplifting incident I don't believe was a whole cart. The second one, she stole like $140 worth of merchandise. Yeah. She told her audience it was for a pack of chicken. It wasn't a pack of chicken. A pack of chicken don't cost no $140.
It all started when my daughter moved into my apartment. I had recently moved out as I had separated from my wife and she had taken the house. She was on vacation, so I was going to take care of Amy for 2 weeks. Amy and I had always been very close, and we were both looking forward to spending this time together. It was going to be a great 2 weeks with just the two of us together. I never imagined there would be 3 of us. The ordinary had happened. But on the third day, Amy was behaving strangely. She was playing and talking to someone in her room. When I went over to ask her who she was talking to, she told me she was playing with Vincent. I never imagined her as the type of girl who would have an imaginary friend, but it's not something that bothered me. I let her keep playing. What's the worst that could happen? As the days went by, Amy became more and more distant from me. She didn't treat me badly or seem angry, but
Yeah, because I stood up for Tammy when she scammed Tammy. Yep. She talks shit about a lot of people, and she is worse than anyone she covers. She's on the background talking about how she needs this couple $100 here, a couple $100 there for her poor health and her small child. She ain't got no small child. Both of her kids are grown ass adults. One of them won't even speak to her. So she out here scamming people while quote unquote being an awareness channel. Yeah. She bullied her about something I'm not going to bring up because I don't want to upset Tammy. So I'm going to drop that. But yeah.
she was very distracted by her imaginary friend. She spent all day talking to Vincent, so much that I was starting to worry, and that worry would grow even more when it was time to eat. Amy asked me to put 3 plates on the table instead of 2, and I hesitantly agreed. She also asked me to cook something else, since Vincent didn't like it.
Yep. Get with me on Discord and I will send you receipts. It's pretty bad, dude. Like, I have a whole ass backup channel with all the receipts on it. But only like a handful of people in my circle have access to it because I don't want her flagging it down. It would really surprise her to see who likes and comments on those too, I think. No worries. Anyway, for the remainder of the stream, I would like to stay on topic though. I'm tired of talking about these people.
Macaroni and cheese. And that's when I decided to draw the line. I told Amy that Vincent had to eat what I had known. But just so I wouldn't be too cruel to her.
Ooh, I've got I got plenty of them, honey. Plenty. But anyway.
Served her imaginary friend a plate of food. I went to get the drink from the fridge, but suddenly, a plate full of macaroni flew next to me, smashing into the wall next to the fridge. When I turned around, furious, I saw that Vincent's plate was gone. I got very angry with Amy, but she told me that she had nothing to do with what happened, that it was Vincent. Angry, she challenged her imaginary friend, which made me even angrier. Despite my anger, I decided not to say anything to her. I would have a talk with her, but since she had been—
Now listen here, Ghost. What did that macaroni and cheese do to you? How you just gonna throw a whole plate of mac and cheese? Oh, you're good. You're good, Cece. This ghost just yeeted some mac and cheese against the wall. Me and this ghost would be throwing hands over some mac and cheese. You don't throw mac and cheese. You eat mac and cheese because mac and cheese is delicious. Like me and this ghost would be throwing hands. Throw a plate at me. See see what happens.
with me so long ago, I preferred to be more permissive. The next day was Friday, and I had promised Amy that I would take her to the video games during the night. I went shopping for just a few minutes. She was taking a nap and could definitely take care of herself for a few minutes. When I came back,
I hope your grandma is getting better. Oh, hell yeah. I like to make what they call elevated mac and cheese. I like to take regular mac and cheese and make it from scratch. I like to make my cheesy sauce from scratch. And make my own macaroni noodles. And like the cheese sauce has like 8 different types of cheese in it, and it's, oh my god, it's good. And then after I get it all put together, I put it in the oven and I put mozzarella on top and bake it until like the top is toasted. Oh my god. And if you really want some good stuff, you can take and crunch up some of the Cheez-Its, like really, really fine, and layer the bottom of your casserole dish with the Cheez-Its, and then put your mac and cheese, and then put your mozzarella, and then bake it, and make mac and cheese casserole. And oh my god, it's so good.
couldn't believe what I saw. The kitchen was destroyed. All the dishes were destroyed. The chairs on the floor and the cutlery scattered everywhere. Furious, I yelled for the first time to Amy. She again told me it wasn't her fault. It was her imaginary friend. I was furious and sent
I could understand that, CC. My grandmother, I called my grandmother Mama. I didn't call her Grandma. I called her Mom. Or Mama. Because she was a mother to me. I miss her dearly. So I can completely empathize with you on that. That's hard. And I'm really sorry you're having to go through that. If there's anything we can do, let us know. We'll certainly be here for you for emotional support, if nothing else. I'm really sorry about that. That's horrible. I'm sorry.
her to bed without going to the games. She, between furious and sad, locked herself in her room to cry. Minutes later, I felt really bad about what I had done. I had never yelled at Amy like that, and I didn't want to start right now. I was thinking about going to her room and forgiving her. I was sure she had learned her lesson. Before going to her, I checked the security cameras in the kitchen. It's not that if I doubted the imaginary friend was true, I just wanted to show the footage to Amy so she would understand not to lie to me. What I didn't know was that she really wasn't lying to me. As I watched the footage, I didn't see Amy. The kitchen was destroying itself. It was as if something invisible was taking out my entire kitchen, destroying it bit by bit with indescribable force. I ran to the kitchen. I needed to see everything again. As I did, I realized that this could not have been Amy's doing.
Hey, Dark. I know it's great having Tammy. We have missed her a lot. But for her own mental health, she's taking a break and will be back in spurts. Hey, Dark. We're watching animated horror stories. I love these things. Like, they have some really good stories. I got back, or I should say we got back into watching Goosebumps. And we've been watching a lot of Goosebumps reruns, like the original OG Goosebumps, not the new one, but like the OG Goosebumps from like when we were kids. And we started back on like season 1, episode 1 with the bug guy. Oh, they were so grossed out. We had some pretty good shows back then. Girl, they touched they touched my collard greens. We be fighting. You don't throw my collard greens. Oh, I watched that one too. I think that one's on the watch list. I think we're gonna watch probably Tales from the Crypt next. And then we're gonna do Outer Limits after Tales from the Crypt. We have like a whole list of television series that we want to go through. And I know The Outer Limits is on there. I know Star Trek was just added. And the Tales from the Crypt. I'm trying to get together all the Goosebumps books for one of them because I've really taken an interest in R.L. Stein. And then the other one wants the Scary Stories Told in the Dark series. But I am having trouble tracking down all of the original Scary Stories Told in the Dark. Like, I can still find one or two, but they're not in order. And I'm having like some trouble finding them because I went to order one of them, and then when I went to place the order, it was out of stock. So I'm gonna have to find like a real OG bookstore probably to get those. Oh yes, Tales from the Dark. Yeah. And there's another one called Don't Turn Off the Light. Scary Tales or something like that. Don't Turn Off the Light. It's on Peacock. Peacock Kids, I believe it is. Because they have Goosebumps also. But on Peacock, there's a couple of Goosebumps type TV shows on Peacock Kids. And we've watched a couple of those. They're like really, really short stories, but they're all age appropriate. I may do something. I don't know. I thought about doing a cooking video. Oh, cool. I have to look into that. My collard greens, I rinse and wash them about 4 times to really get all the grit. And then I boil them in chicken stock with hog jowl, which is basically pork fat. You have to put hog jowl in your collard greens. Oh yeah, that's a great series too. And then like I cook it down and reduce it for about, I want to say 4, maybe 6 hours on low. Well, you don't eat it. It's for flavor and fat. Um, it's basically like putting bacon in them. I mean, you can use bacon, but I prefer hog jowl because of the flavor and the fat content is more fatty than bacon. And you really, really need that fat to cook your greens correctly. Hey, 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 hey. That's blasphemy. Collard greens are not just typical greens. I also put bacon fat in my green beans, thank you. And they are delicious.
The chairs were broken, and some of the dishes from very high places were on the floor. There's no way Amy.
Oh, hell no. I'm sorry, but if this ghost ain't paying rent or buying those dishes, they best not be throwing my dishes. Can you charge a ghost rent? If this ghost ain't feeding, funding, or fucking me, it better not be breaking my shit. I'm just saying. It best be paying some bills if it's going to be yeeting my dishes out the cabinets. Or I'm going to be throwing these hands. It best not try that. Because it be catching these hands. I'm not bitey. I'm fighty. I will fight you. Do not throw my dishes. I wonder if there's a way you can charge a ghost rent though. Like, hey ghost, you're occupying my space, so I'm gonna need you to cough up some money, ghost, okay? Ain't nothing in this life free. I know you dead and all, but you still staying here, so what's up? You know, you gonna give me that money or you gonna move out? What's it gonna be? Oh no, that ghost starts throwing my cookies, and it's gonna need to call an exorcist on me because I will go batshit on that ghost if it starts eating my cookies. I'm gonna go so batshit on that ghost that the ghost is gonna call an exorcist. That ghost better have my money. Yeah.
Chair. As I was going through everything, I found a strange photo on the floor, and I bent down to pick it up.
Casper be out on the fucking street corner showing its, translucent leg, Need to pay rent. I got bills. Put the fucking ghost on the street corner. Get my ghost pimp hat. Bitch, you better have my money. The ghost be out there telling people, if I don't get this money, my pimp gonna beat my ass. She's scary too. She'd be throwing hands at me if I don't have her money. That'd be an entirely different kind of ghost movie. Leave it to me to put a fucking ghost on the street corner because it ain't paying rent.
In that photo was a terrifying 6-foot-tall man. Next to him, there was a frightened-looking woman and a little boy. A frightened little boy. Behind the photo, someone had written something by hand. Family photo, Alfonso, Maria, and Vincent. Could it be that child was Vincent? I went to Amy's room and showed her the photo without telling her my suspicions. But she just spoke. Oh, you found Vincent's picture. It was true. That boy was Vincent. This couldn't be true. There had to be a logical explanation. But that video,
I mean, the good thing about, ghost hookers is that you can't get them pregnant or catch an STD. It'd be completely safe. And you can't exactly Minecraft a ghost. So, like, that'd be safe pimping. Just saying. Like, I'm just saying it better have my money.
I had no way of denying that this was happening. Trying to understand a little more, I tried to get some information out of Amy. But I never would have expected her to tell me what she told me. Sweetie, what does your little friend want? What did he tell you? No, but he just told me something. Is he here?
No. If it's a Lisa ghost, I'm just gonna evict that motherfucker because there ain't no way in hell there's enough money in this world to have me put up with a Lisa ghost. It ain't happening. Because she'd be spending all her money on ghost crack. It ain't happening. I got them high class ghosties on the block. I guess this is a thing now. Right? I don't have no low class hookers. Instead of boo, it's PayPal. PayPal. We ain't right. You know that. You know that, right? There's something wrong with us.
With you right now? Yes. Hey, what's the matter?
Yo, homie, why does that little girl sound like a dude? Just asking for a friend. Like that girl talking, but a dude's voice is coming out like a whole ass, grown ass man voice. Well, that's true. But hell, we have fun.
What did he say? He said you ask a lot.
And another thing, why this little girl got whole ass circles under her eyes and her hair ain't been brushed in 18 years? Like, what kind of dad is that, man? Like, her hair is all kinds of unkept and she looked like she ain't slept in 8 months. And she's got like dark rings on her nose and shit. Like, the fuck? Right? Yeah.
Lot of questions. He said,
You're sitting there worried about a ghost. You need to be worried about brushing your kid's nappy ass head. Like, why you ain't brushing your kid's hair, dude? The fuck? Kid look like it ain't slept in 18 years. What the fuck is that? What the hell was that? Did you all hear that? What the hell was that? Whew. That was scary. Right, Cece?
He wants to hurt you. He's saying a lot of bad words to you. He's very angry. Tell your friend to calm down. I won't hurt him. You should stop calling him little. I don't think he likes it. He's very, very tall. Confused, I showed her the picture again and pointed to the child. Didn't you just say that this is Vincent? Startled, she grabbed my finger and wagged it up, pointing to the terrifying 6-foot man behind him. No. This is Vincent. My blood froze. Almost at the same time, I began to feel something behind me. It was air. It was a breath. Someone was breathing on the back of my neck.
Ew. Okay, that's no. Mm-mm. No. I would be burning down the house. My dog is snoring. Oh, it squeaked. My little you. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. Are you dreaming? Gandalf is snoring. He's kicking his little feet. He's having a dream. Hey, buddy. Hey. Hey. You okay? Yeah? You chasing rabbits? You snoring? Yeah? Yeah. Oh my God, that was so cute. He snored. He was the cutest little thing. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah. He's a good boy. You having a good dream? Yeah. Oh, woo. Oh, woo. What is it, Petey? Did him snoring wake you up? Yeah.
Daddy, I'm scared. All this time, the imaginary friend was real. But he wasn't a child, but a terrifying, nearly 6-foot tall grown man. I had no idea what was going on, but I knew we had to escape from there. I ran to the door to get out of the kitchen. My daughter was standing behind him, but the door slammed in my face. Suddenly, all the stuff in the kitchen started flying at me, hurting me as I tried to force the door open. I pushed as hard as I could until I managed to break it. Amy was standing there, crying. I pulled her into my arms and ran as fast as I could. I reached the exit door, and as I reached for the key and opened the door, something behind us approached. It was like a distortion in the air that was slowly approaching us, breaking everything in its path. I managed to open the exit door and ran with my daughter. We went down the stairs without waiting for the elevator. All the lights behind us were going out. The light bulbs were breaking, and even though there was no one behind us, we heard violent and loud footsteps that were getting closer and closer. We opened the exit door and ran as fast as we could to my car. Behind us, at the apartment doors, I caught my first glimpse of a man standing in the doorway. The man had a terrifying smile and cruel red eyes. The rest of his face was sunk in a black shadow, and from one second to the next, he disappeared. That was the last time I went back to that apartment. I went to my ex-wife's house while she was on vacation and looked for a new place to move to. I hired several people to move everything out of that apartment. I never had an explanation for what was happening, but at least I had the video of what happened in the kitchen to prove that it was real. Unfortunately, no one ever believed me. With so many fake videos on the internet, I can't blame them either.
Oh, hell no. Mm-mm. Hey, Gandalf. What are you doing? Hmm? Do you have a glutamine? Yeah. You were snoring. Yes, you were. You were snoring. Did you have a big dream? Yeah. You have a big dream. Yeah.
My name is Patricia. I'm 38 years old, and my husband, Connor, and I moved into what we thought would be our dream home. It started with Jason, who I live with him, is only 14 years old. We moved into this town and this home because we were on the verge of losing our previous home. So when we found this deal, we couldn't pass. Connor's a traveling salesman, doesn't make a lot. First month, everything fine. Jason, daily routine is going to be.
Oh, same girl. Good night. I had a lot of fun too. Sorry, Petey was scratching his ear quite loudly. Yeah, I should be live tomorrow. Just shenanigans, probably. I don't really get into too much covering of very much over here. I just kind of do fun live streams where we just kind of hang out and have fun, and that's about it. You know, it's a lot less stressful that way. But I'll see you all tomorrow. Cece, thank you for hanging out.
Be harder for him to adjust to. Jason and I were studying literature the other day when the power suddenly went out. Connor was on a business trip, so I had to go downstairs to check the breaker. I heard Jason let out a blood-curdling scream, and I ran upstairs as fast as I could. Jason! I called out as I got to the top of the stairs. Jason! I rushed into the room, and there Jason sat, reading the pages I told him to read while I checked on the breaker. He looked calm and collective as though nothing had happened. Jason? I said as I went to his side. Are you all right? He looked up at me and simply nodded. Baby, why did you scream? I asked. He shook his head no with the indication that he didn't scream. I looked all around and all seemed to be okay. It wasn't unusual for Jason to have random outbursts, but I have never heard him scream like that. The fact he denied it, maybe it was just in my head. I managed to fix the breaker and we continued our lesson. That night, after Jason had fallen asleep, I went downstairs to have a glass of wine and watch some late-night TV to have some time to myself when that blood-curdling scream I heard earlier that day came from Jason's room. I rushed upstairs into Jason's room to find him sleeping soundly. I looked around for anything out of the ordinary, but couldn't find anything out of place. I shrugged it off as lack of sleep and decided to turn in once I finished my glass of wine. 3 days went by without incident, and I began to forget the screams. One night, I finished brushing my teeth and climbed into bed. I fell asleep reading my Bible, and I woke up to Jason hovering over my bed.
Oh, hell no. Mm-mm. No, if that happened to me, I would become a ghost. Boo. Boo. No, mm-mm. Nope. I would be, I would be deceased. Ooh. That's terrifying. Could you imagine to like laying there minding your own business, and the next thing you know, there's like a scary dead person face in your face. Yeah, no thank you. I'm good. Oof. No, mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, nay, 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 I say. Mm-mm. Nope.
An unnaturally wide smile spread across his face, and his eyes were wide. "Hello, Mommy," he said. His voice was deep and hissy. I let out a blood-curdling scream of my own and shoved Jason away. He suddenly disappeared into thin air, and I sat up in a cold sweat and panting.
Ugh. Hello, mommy? What the fuck? Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. Sorry, I was answering my sweetheart.
Was I dreaming? I got out of bed and went to Jason's room. He was sleeping soundly. I recently started taking medications for my depression. I pulled up my computer and looked up some side effects. I couldn't see hallucinations under any and began to worry. What was going on? The next morning, I called Connor. "Hi, Patty. How are you, my love?" He asked cheerfully through the phone. "Hi, Connor." My voice shook. I need to talk to you about something. "What's the matter? Is everything okay at the house? Do you need me to cut the trip short?" I burst into tears. "I don't know what's wrong with me. For the past week, I've heard Jason screaming at the top of his lungs as though he's seen something frightening. But when I rush to him, he's calm as though nothing happened. I heard it at night and rushed upstairs to check on him. He was sound asleep." "Does those medications you started taking have hallucination side effects?" Connor asked. "I've looked it up and it says that it doesn't cause them," I said. "Well, darling, everyone is different. Maybe get a hold of the doctor and talk to him about it." "Okay, I'll set up an appointment." "Good deal. How is the little rascal anyway?" He's doing well. He loves reading." "Our boy sure is smart." "Yes, he is. I sure love him, and I love you, sugar boo." "I love you, honey boo." I laughed and looked outside the window to see Jason with sidewalk chalk. He was drawing some sort of symbol of witchcraft. "Connor, I have to go," I said. "Everything okay?" Jason's just drawing on the walls again." Connor chuckled. "Okay, talk to you later."
Hey, Easy. I'm about to end this in about 10, probably 10 more minutes. For reasons. Somebody wants to watch movies. So let me see. I'm gonna probably finish this one up, and then we're gonna watch some movies for bedtime.
Let me know what the doctors say. I set my phone down and rushed outside. "Jason, what are you doing?" I asked frantically. He ignored me as though he was in some sort of trance. "Jason, look at me," I said. Usually, kids with autism don't make eye contact. But Jason at least looks up. He looked at me, and for the first time, his eyes met mine. "Jason doesn't live here anymore," he said. His voice was dark and demonic. He then got on all fours and crawled down to the basement at an unnatural speed. I screamed loudly, and ran after him. By the time I got to the basement, Jason was dead. I wasn't imagining this. I rushed upstairs and called Connor. The doctor confirmed I didn't have any.
Ugh. You don't suck. I would have went on a little longer, but somebody's wanting to watch movies, so for sleepy time. So I'm probably gonna end this one, and I will be back tomorrow. I mean, we've been on an hour and a half, so I think I'll come back and do like maybe a pajama party tomorrow. Um, tomorrow or Friday. Maybe we'll make this like a 2 or 3 day affair. Where we watch animated horror stories. Because those are fun. I love them. Some of them you can tell are full of poo poo. Some of them sound legitimate, but some of them you can definitely tell they're full of poopy. So yeah, we'll do another one tomorrow with the scary animated horror stories. I love those things, man. They're cool as heck. And then when we get bored with that, we'll watch a Karen video or something. But being as how my channel is pretty well geared for paranormal, I figure I need to put out some paranormal videos. So we will do that, and I will be back tomorrow. Love you guys. I'll see you all later. Bye. Yeah. What do you want to watch?